Good afternoon, folks. And once again, it keeps saying rotate your device. You can't turn your device while you're filming. I haven't touched it since I turned it on. I don't get it. But anyway, welcome back once again to the world of Mike's Magic Car and Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement. Boy, that's a long... See there? There's the proof once again, y'all. And I'm working on that very car right now, my 1998 Mustang GT. It's been hopped up just a little bit. Anyway, I'm just doing a very brief video today on using the Rotary Buffer, or one of them that I have, and I'm going to show you the difference between the rotary and the dual action buffers. I'm going to be using the rotary for this just because I am more comfortable with the rotary than most people. I've been using them forever. I was using a rotary buffer when that's all you could get was the rotary buffer. In fact, I've still got my old one laying over there on the shelf. Probably weighs about 15 pounds. By comparison, my newer one over here, it only weighs like 5-6 pounds, something like that. Much easier to use. The technology's better, they're smoother, they're more controllable. A lot of you who haven't used a rotary a lot would want to use the dual action. They're slower, to get results slower, but they are much safer to use. It's hard to you can mess up using a dual action buffer, but you have to try really hard. And the one I've got here is a small one. This particular one I've had, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Just happens to be made by Griot's Garage. It has a 3-inch backing plate on it, and I'll probably still use it to get in some spots like these real curvy places and smaller places. And I have a, this is just one I happen to grab and throw out here for now. 3-inch backing plate. They come with a hook and loop. You just stick them on there like that. And I also have a 5-inch backing plate on my rotary buffer, which over behind me here I have a selection of pads. It attaches the same way. It just goes on like that. That's the one I'll be using the most today. That's a relatively soft pad because, as you might recall, I'm not really going after a whole lot of paint defects today, although there are a few. I noticed some on the roof that I will have to go after, but I can just swap a pad, swap product real quick just to attack those particular scratches that I do see. And you also note this is called a backing plate. This is a smaller backing plate that I can switch. It only takes a minute to switch and use the smaller pads to get into those little curvy spots and hard to reach places with that as well. So what I'm going to use today, I think, hey, if y'all like this video, please hit the like button or the smiley button or something for me and tag somebody else, because this is going to be going on for a few minutes. I'm about to go get my product that I'm going to try first today to see if it's going to get the results I want, because really all I'm trying to do is not a lot of paint correction here today. As I've told you previously, my main focus today is to make sure that I have the coatings on here now removed. That's what I'm trying to do today, so that I can put a new ceramic coating on after I get through with this. So that will entail me buffing this entire car, every square inch that I'm going to ceramic coat. So, and in a future live video, what I will do is show you my, and some of you seen it before, my rotary attachment nano polishing kit, they call it. It looks like a roto-rooter type of thing. It hooks onto the end of your rotary polisher, and it's got It's very flexible. You'll see. You'll see. Come back later and check that out. That's how you get in all these little bitty nooks and crannies and up under door handles and all that sort of thing. So, and if you'll notice, I've got some of the same microfiber towels out that I had yesterday, but I have a much more expensive, much plusher microfiber towel for wiping some things off, because that one's good for wiping off whatever protection the product I might have and cleaning up, and so I can check my work. Much plusher, much softer, doesn't hold dirt and grit as much, and for final polishing and wiping off, that's what you want to use, one of those right there. Those particular ones, once again, just because I like the guy, Scott Blade, probably one of the most famous detailers in the world of Dallas paint correction and paint enhancement, who also sells a lot of detailing products, which I have started to purchase his stuff because they are very solid products at a very reasonable price and not full of all the hype and the BS that a lot of these other companies have come up with. So I'm going to go grab, what I'm going to try first today is just a very light polish, so that I just removing as little clear coat and whatever off this paint as possible, for a couple of reasons. I'm not after a lot of paint correction, and this is a very low level Mako paint job. It is pretty fragile. There's not a whole lot of paint on here, so you can't do a lot of paint correction. You have to proceed carefully. So I'm going to go get my product that I'm going to use today, and I'm going to use a very soft black finishing pad, just because I don't want to go deep. I just want to remove whatever protectants and chemicals, etc., that might be lying on the surface of the paint and get down to the virgin paint, because that's what the ceramic coating is designed mechanically to bond with. If there's other stuff there, it won't bond properly and it won't last as long. So we'll put this pad on, try to get it centered best you can. You ain't got to be exact with it. And I just got this laying here to keep from further scratching my hood. Oh boy. Let's see, what are we going to use today? What I'm going to do is get this called Sonax Perfect Finish. It's a final polish, has very little abrasive in it, has a good lubrication, a long working time, almost doesn't dust at all. And as you'll see, what I'm going to do is, before I do anything, always when I get to this stage, wipe any dust that might be on the surface off. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this little buffer away for now. Get my bigger rotary out. I just have this laying there to keep from scratching the hood. And I've got just a normal, I think actually this is a makeup brush or something. I don't remember where this came from, but what you do is you turn your buffer on. I'll dial the speed down a little bit, and you just use that to clean it. See all that dust coming off of there? Clean the pad that way. You can flip this over and do like this. Oh Lord, I forgot. I grabbed the wrong pad. I've got one that I've washed and cleaned. Now I've got dust everywhere that I'll have to remove. Wipe that off. Goodness gracious, made a mess here. I should have turned away from the camera. Not get it on the car. Now normally I would also follow that up with blasting it with compressed air from my air compressor, but I didn't want to turn it on because it's so noisy. Y'all wouldn't be able to hear a damn thing I said. So, and one mistake I noticed a lot of people making is these products, they tend to overuse them. They put way too much. It doesn't take a whole lot. So I'm just going to put just a few little dots on here like this. That's really all I need, because I'm going to be doing just this area right here for now, just to kind of show y'all what to do. Normally I start on the roof first because it's the hardest to reach, and I like to do the hardest stuff first. But for this level, I'm going to dial the speed way down, about 1.5 on this dial. I'm not sure how that relates out to RPMs. And what we'll do is we'll just make slow passes with this rotary and try to remove any stuff that's still adhering to the paint, and maybe a few minor scratches as well. There's some here, y'all may not be able to see them, but anyway, here we go. That first quick pass is just to spread the product out a little bit, and then it'll just be moving slowly. See, it is dusting a little bit. I think that's because my pad is not all that clean. And this is one of the reasons I told y'all earlier, when you are doing your clay barring, you're going to be reading some marring. That marring will be in straight lines. This is turning in a circle, so they say that it's better getting those scratches off if you do it all straight lines. And plus then you can tell if you're leaving any scratching behind when you're doing this, if you're putting it on there from the buffer, or if it was done previously, because any scratches this makes will be in a circular pattern. And the scratches I might have made clay barring will be straight lines. But you can see that's polishing up right nicely there. And as you notice, I'm moving kind of slow. I hesitate a little bit over some of the defects that I see, hoping to improve them to some degree. And I'm putting very, very, very light pressure on the buffer. Just really, I'm just letting the weight of the buffer be the pressure. I'm not putting any down pressure at all. And I wish that this, I had grabbed the clean pad, but I'm not too worried about it because I'll be coming back to the hood anyway. And I just did it because it's easier to demonstrate from here. And I'll guarantee you the pad will be absolutely clean next time I use it, so that I don't get all this dust. Which is just abrasive from the product. See, I see a little scratch there. I'm going to well, hit that a couple times. And you have to be careful with these edges when you're using a rotary like this. You'll notice I kind of sneak up on it and just make sure that my rotation is off of the edge like that. You don't want it rotating into the edge. That's where you'll get burn marks you'll see a lot of times. So usually what I do, I kind of sneak up on it, make sure my rotation is the right way. And I just kind of hit it like that. There's a scratch there. If I want to get that out, I'm going to have to get a stronger pad. There's a few scratches on here. But that's basically all there is to that, folks. But on using a rotary buffer at this level, you want to keep the speed down, move slowly, and then come back like this, remove your product, your dust, and then you can kind of check your work, see what you got. It could be better, but with this paint job, I can't really chase perfection, as they say, because it's just too fragile. I can't go deep. But when I do come back to it, some of those scratches, I may flip the pad or get a different pad or a fresh pad and try probably my all-in-one polish which will be good for getting rid of these light defects. There's a scratch right there. Y'all probably can't see it, but I can. No telling where it happened, where it came from. It doesn't look like a clay bar scratch. It doesn't look like it's from a buffer. There is no telling what caused it. Could have been a stick flying up off the road, one falling out of a tree somewhere or something like that, because this thing's been sitting outside forever. So that's that for now. Join me again next time I go live. And also, if you want to, check out my YouTube channel by the same name, if you can find it. I'll try to come back later and put a link. If you got any questions or comments, please feel free to post them so that I can answer those questions for you. Tell me where you're watching from, if you're watching. I don't think anybody's watching, but that's okay. I can rebroadcast this later, which I will do. I'm going to rebroadcast all of these because I'm new to this live stuff, folks. I don't have a clue what I'm doing, not really. Right now I'm just pushing buttons. I was wanting to put the camera on the car earlier, but it's so slick and it's such a curvy car that I couldn't get the tripod just right place and keep it from wanting to slide off, even if I sat it on a towel or something. So I've ended up bringing my detailing card over here and trying to shoot it this way. So it's just a tabletop tripod. So yeah, I can't sit it on the floor and raise it up. That's okay. That's okay. Anyway, thank y'all. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye.